Welcome to BrilliantMaths.com, where every student has an opportunity to excel in math. Subscribe to our website, subscribe to the videos. There are lots of materials there for you. Get access to them and use them. Today we'll be looking at addition and subtraction of algebraic expressions. But before we go into the actual work, we need to look at a few vocabularies, like and unlike terms. When are two terms said to be like terms? And when are two or more terms said to be unlike? Terms in an algebraic expression with the same letters and powers are called like terms. We mean 5a and 7a are like terms. 14b and 6b are like terms because both terms have b in them. But those with different letters and powers are called unlike terms. For example, 7a and 7b. Both of them have 7, but the alphabet attached to them are different, so the terms are unlike. The examples we have here is 5a and 7a are like terms, and also 11pq and minus 4pq are like terms. But 11pq and 7p are unlike terms because the 7 has a p, there's no q, but 11 has p and q attached to it. Again, 5a and 5a squared are unlike terms. Both of them have a's, but the powers of a are different. In the first one, the power of a is 1, but in the second one, a is raised to power 2, so they are unlike terms. The next vocabulary we'll look at is coefficients. What is a coefficient? A coefficient is the number or symbol multiplied by a variable. For example, in 5a, 5 is the coefficient of a because 5 is a number attached to a. And minus 4 is the coefficient in minus 4pq. So coefficient is a number attached to the variable. The first example here says 2a plus 14a minus 7a. The three terms in this expression are all terms in a. So they are all like terms. And you can only add or subtract terms when they are like terms. If they are unlike, you cannot add or subtract them. So here, 2a plus 14a will be equal to 16a. So the next step will be 16a, take away 7a. And 16a minus 7a is equal to 9a. In the second example, we have 6b minus 4b plus 8b squared. 6b and 4b are like terms, but 8b squared is an unlike term. It's not like 6b and 4b. So we can work with 6b and 4b. So the first step will be to collect like terms or to group like terms together. So we have 6b minus 4b, which will give us 2b. And then it becomes 2b plus 8b squared. And that's our answer. We can't simplify it any further because 2b and 8b squared are unlike terms. In the third example, we have 16s plus 3 minus 5x minus 9. Here we're going to group the like terms. 16x and 5x are like terms, so we'll group them together. And 3 and 9 are also like terms. So the first step is to group like terms. So we're bringing 16s minus 5x. The variables move with the operation in front of it. So it's 16x minus 5x plus 3 minus 9. You can choose to put them in a bracket or leave them without a bracket. 16s minus 5x is equal to 11x, and plus 3 minus 9 is equal to minus 6. And that is the final answer, because you can't simplify it any further. 11x minus 6x are unlike terms, so you leave the answer like that. Simplify 3x plus 18x minus x plus 4x. Again, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 terms in this expression, and the 4 terms are terms in x, so they are all like terms. So we simply add or subtract as required. So 3x plus 18x is 21x. 21x minus x is 20x plus 4x. So the total is 24x. Another way to do this is add up all the positive x's together and take away the negative one. So let's try that. 3x plus 18x is 21x. 21x plus 4x is 25x. Take away x is 24. So you can choose to do it in any way that is convenient for you. The next example, simplify m plus 6mn plus 2m squared plus 10m squared plus 5m. So here we have to group like terms or collect like terms. So we group like terms. And in grouping like terms, the like terms we have here are m and 5m. So we have m plus 5m. Then we have 6mn, which does not have any like term. But we have 2m squared and 10m squared, which are like terms. So I choose to write those next. So plus 2m squared plus 10m squared plus 6mn. And then this will give us 6m plus 2m squared plus 10m squared is 12m squared, and plus 6mn. That's the final answer, because these 3 terms are unlike terms. And in the third example, we have 7y plus 7x minus 2y minus y squared minus 2x. So again, we group like terms. The like terms here are 7y and minus 2y. Remember, the sign in front of the number goes with it. So 7y minus 2y. Then we have 7x and 2x. So plus 7x minus 2x, and then what is left is a minus y squared. So now that we have grouped the like terms, we can add them or subtract them as required. So 7y minus 2y is equal to 5y. 7x minus 2x is equal to plus 5x, and then we're left with minus y squared. So the answer to that is 5y plus 5x minus y squared. In this example, we want to simplify the following. 14 times p times s times m times z times 2. We'll multiply 14 and 2. So let's write them side by side. 14 times 2. The rest are variables p, s, m, and z. All of them are to power 1. So we'll write them the way they are. Times p times s times m times z. So the final answer is 14 times 2 is 28 p, s, m, z. The order of the letters does not matter. In the next example, we have 5 times m times 2 times m times r times 7 times m times s. So let's group the like terms. Let's write them side by side. So we have 5 times 2 times 7 times m times m. There's another m here. Times m times r times s. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 times 7 is 70. So we have 70. M times m times m is m to power 3. And then rs. So the answer is 70 m cubed rs. For the third example, we have minus 11 times a times b times c times minus 4 times a times c. So again, let's write the like terms side by side. So that's equal to minus 11 times minus 4 times a times another a times b times c times c. Minus 11 times minus 4 is equal to positive 44, because minus times minus is plus. We don't need to write the plus sign there. A times a is a squared times b. So we attach the b. C times c is c squared. So the answer is 44 a squared b c squared. In this example, we want to simplify the following. 12a squared times 5a cubed. We'll multiply 12 and 5 to give us 60. So we have 60 a squared times a to power 3 means a multiplying itself 5 times. So the answer is actually a to power 5. So what you do with that is you simply add the powers together to get the answer. So the answer is 60a to power 5. For the second example, we have 4y cubed times 7y times pq squared divided by 2y. So we're multiplying 4y cubed by 7y, and that will give us 28y to power 4. We also have p and q squared. So the numerator is 28y to power 4 p q squared. And then we are dividing this by 2y. And that will give us 28 divided by 2 is equal to 14. This is y to power 4 divided by y. So we'll have y cubed, and we still have the p q squared. So the answer is 14 y cubed p q squared. For the third example, we have 8d cubed times 5d squared divided by 4d. Again, multiply 8 and 5 to get 40. D cubed times d squared is d to power 5. We add the powers together, 3 plus 2 to give us 5. And we're dividing by 4d. So the answer is 40 divided by 4 is 10. D to the power 5 divided by d would give us d to the power 4. Because what that simply means is that the d here cancels out one of the d's there. So the answer is 10d to the power 4. In this example, we want to simplify 4x to the power 7, y to the power 6, divided by 6x to the power 9, y to the power 3. So we write it out. This is the numerator, and this other part is the denominator. So 4 over 6. I like to write it out in steps. X to the power 7, x to the power 9, and we have y to the power 6 and y to the power 3. Try to pay attention. So here, we're dividing 4 by 6, and 2 is a common factor. So if I divide 4 by 2, I'll have 2. And if I divide 6 by 2, I'll be left with 3. This is x to the power 7, and that is x to the power 9. And dealing with these unknowns, I can simply say x to the power 7 take away 9, because we are dividing. It means we have 7 x's on top, x multiplying itself 7 times, and we have x multiplying itself 9 times. So if we cancel out, if we were to cancel out 1 by 1, we would actually have x to the power 2 left at the bottom. Let's see how that plays out from the subtraction. And we have y to the power 6 take away 3. Because at the bottom we have y to the power 3. We have y multiplying itself 6 times on top and y multiplying itself 3 times at the bottom. How many will be left? So this will give us 2/3 x to the power 7 minus 9 would give us x to the power 2. X to the power 7 minus 9 will give us x to the power minus 2. That means that x is actually at the bottom. And then y to the power 6 minus 3 will give us y to the power 3. So our final is 2y to the power 3 over 3x squared. So in this example, we want to simplify 24a to the power 5 b to the power 6 divided by 4a to the power 3 b to the power 7. The easiest way to write this is write this as the numerator and this as the denominator, and then cancel out. So we have 24a to the power 5 b to the power 6 over 4a to the power 3 b to the power 7, and that is equal to 24 times a to the power 5 is a times a times a times a times a, and b to the power 6 is b times b times b times b times b times b. Let's check how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a to the power 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's b to the power 6. And then over 4 times a times a times a. That's our a to the power 3 times, we have b to the power 7. b times b times b times b times b. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. This is the layman's way of doing this. So we cancel out. Let's start with the 4. 4 in 24 is 6. So 4 in 4 is 1. 4 in 24 is 6. This a cancels that, and this cancels that, and this cancels that. We have a here and a here. So we have a squared. Then let's see what happens with the b's. 1, another b, another b, another b, another b, and then cancels out the final one. So what we have now as our final answer is 6a squared, because we have only 2 of them left, a squared. There's no b left on top, over b. So the answer is 6a squared over b. There's another way you could have done this by simply dividing 24 by 4 to get 6 and subtracting the powers of the variables. A to the power 5 minus a to the power 3, and that will give us a squared. The a to the power 2 will be on top, because a to the power 5, you have more a's on top than at the bottom. Then here, it will be b to the power 6 minus 7. 6 minus 7 will be minus 1. So b to the power minus 1 on top actually means we have an extra b at the bottom. So the answer will be 6a squared over b. In this example, we want to simplify x squared plus 4x squared plus 3x over 8x squared minus 6x squared. Looking at it, you will think it's difficult, but in the real sense of it, it is not. That's because on top, on the numerator, all of them are like terms. So we set it out. X squared plus 4x squared plus 3x squared all over 8x squared minus 6x squared. you can see, they are all like terms. So x squared plus 4x squared will give us 5x squared. 5x squared plus 3x squared will give us 8x squared. So our numerator simplifies to 8s squared, and the denominator becomes 8s squared minus 6x squared. They are like terms again. 8 minus 6 is 2. So 2x squared. And here we can easily cancel out. 2 in 2 is 1. And 2 in 8. How many 2's do we have in 8? That will be 4. X squared divided by x squared cancel out and we'll be left with 1. So that the answer is actually 4. So when you see a problem like this, don't assume it's difficult. Just pay a little attention and try it out. And you can see that you can do it. My name is Ngozi Orevolini. Subscribe to brilliantmaths.com. Watch the videos. For these examples, subscribe to Brilliant Maths Module 3. Request for it and it will be sent to you. And always remember, math is fun.